morning, Deer Park. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2015. I'm Eli Martinez.
And I'm Caleb Rowland. And it's been 293 days since I've had a girlfriend.
Yes, and just like Caleb's relationships have failed to take off, our news director, Zach Allen, has the inside scoop on the Grounded Mars 1 project, which had planned to put the first humans on Mars.
If they succeed, they'll die on Mars. If they don't, they'll die along the way. Either way, it'll be their last time on Earth. The Mars One Foundation plans to create a human settlement on Mars as soon as 2025. Mars One will select and train the human crew for permanent settlement. The search for astronauts began in April 2013. More than 200,000 registered for the first selection program, but that number has since been narrowed down to 50 men and 50 women. However, as we delve deeper into this organization, the shadier things got. The Mars One team has more graphic designers and media specialists than they do engineers. Their response to how they will get to Mars is vague at best and non-existent at worst. The Mars One team says that the mission is feasible with existing hardware, but if that's true, why hasn't anyone else done it? If the necessary tools are just lying around, organizations like NASA or SpaceX should have gotten close to landing humans on Mars by now. And that's just the technical side of things. There's a human side to consider too. Mars One opened its astronaut application to everyone. If you're between 20 and 40 years old and healthy, you're apparently qualified to fly to Mars. NASA requires at least a bachelor's in science and at least 3 years of field work or over 1,000 hours of jet aircraft piloting. And that's not even including the physical and emotional requirements. However, to live on Mars, education and background doesn't matter. Instead, the Mars One Foundation says, a sense of humor and the ability to work well with others are the key characteristics we are looking for in astronaut hopefuls. During my investigation, one of the top 100 Mars One finalists made a shocking announcement. Joseph Roche, an assistant professor at Trinity College in Dublin, who has a PhD in physics and astrophysics, signed up to the one-way trip to Mars at its beginning. But he has since become concerned that the project will never take off, and contributions raised will end up being used to fund the founder's wallet instead of the project. The leading contestants for the mission are being encouraged to pay to be promoted as candidates, and Roche has never met anyone in person from the foundation. With all of the mounting evidence, this project looks increasingly like a scam that people from all over the world have donated more than $750,000 to. Joseph Roche worries that the mission will be a failure and that it could put the future of space exploration and popular science in doubt, and so do I. Until this organization can produce detailed, fact-based plans, I see no reason to support con artists. This has been the Deer Park Tech Corner, and I'll see you around.
Well, for once, I can honestly say that story was out of this world.
Oh, shut up, Eli. And now for the weekly news. First things first, it's Eli Martinez's birthday!
Let's go, Eli. Thanks, guys.
Through April 27th, HOSA members will be collecting money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. About every 4 minutes, someone in the U.S. is diagnosed with a type of blood cancer, and one way for seniors to help donate is through a raffle for 2 free prom tickets. It is $2 for 1 raffle ticket and $5 for 3.
Blowing past the original goal, the PALs, along with NHS, have raised over $9,000 for Krista McKee, the wife of the calculus teacher Tim McKee, who's battling brain cancer. Thanks to all who participated at Run for the Roads this past Sunday, as well as Team McKee. In my opinion, most of the participants out there running Sunday were better than the government.
Oh, seriously, Eli, shut it. The Deer Network tries to keep you updated on current presidential candidates, and within the past week, Republicans Rand Paul, son of past candidate Ron Paul, and Marco Rubio have both announced their names in the race. This is along with a big announcement of Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton's candidacy last Sunday. Just a reminder that if you are able to vote when the time comes, vote, because people who don't vote are what my dad calls a Caleb.
Well, wow, hopefully our new president can get me a new lady, because these two haven't done well at all.
I'm going to hurt you, Eli.
Well, now that I'm thinking about pain, I have the chance to find out more about the SAT and how to understand more about it. Let's take a look. We all know as senior year comes to an end, colleges start to look at grades, volunteer hours, and most importantly, your SAT score. The Scholastic Aptitude Test, or better known as the SAT, needs large amounts of preparation and dedication. We talked to Mr. Sample and Mrs. White about how students can better prepare themselves for the test and as well why it is important to do well. One of the many ways you can prepare is taking your pre-SAT, which the school offers once a year for juniors and sophomores. But are these tests the same?
No, they're not the exact same test. The PSAT, as it suggests, stands for Preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Tests. It's a rehearsal for the SAT. The SAT is the actual assessment that colleges will use for giving admission to their college.
3 points on why it is important to score high in your SAT is 1. It is an indicator for colleges to access your ability in college. 2. For scholarships given to high scores in the SAT. And last but not least, the third is financial aid. Many colleges award financial aid based on the score of the SAT. But what would happen if you scored low?
It can actually keep you out of going to the schools that you want to go to. You maybe eventually have to go to a community college. Well, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it just limits your options. And then certainly all scholarship money that would be available to you based on your score, it was, of course, not available to you.
One thing you should learn from a low score is you maybe need to practice some more, and you can go back to the College Board account and they have some practice tests you can work on to review the areas that you scored poorly in and then go back and get some practice in that area.
And that's just based on a really good SAT score, not the top score. For instance, if you're a national merit finalist, a lot of, I think the state schools in Texas, maybe not all of them, but I know some of them, everything is free for tuition.
Wait, what? It's free?
And everything except for fees and books.
College is very expensive. In 2012 alone, 71% of all students graduating from a 4-year college had student loan debt. It goes to show you just how important it is to take any and every opportunity there is to save money by getting scholarships. This is the Dear Network looking out for you and your wallets. Once again, this is Eli Martinez and Edith Gonzalez signing off.
Well, that was some great reporting there, Eli. And if I had known some of that, maybe my parents would love me more.
Well, that's our show for today, folks. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week, and remember to take showers, because no one likes stinky people.
Coming up next, a brief message from our District Chief Technology Officer. Be sure to stay tuned after that for a slideshow from this past Sunday's Run for the Rose, made by Miss Shoffett. For all of us here at the Dear Network, I'm Papa Roland. Hey, see you next week, Dear Park. Hey.